Hi class, now that you're done listening to the poem, I Smell Springtime, we're going to take out our Wonders Close Reading Companion and turn to page 11. So I took it out for you so that I could show you how to do the worksheet, but you go ahead and leave it inside your book. So this is what page 11 looks like. And please write your name on top like we do with all our pages. Write it nice and neat on top. I'm going to write mine while you write yours. Now that you're done writing your name, it is time to listen to the instructions of what they want us to do with this worksheet. Okay, so it says, find clues. Which sense tells the girl that spring is here? Draw how she uses her senses. So remember, we talked about the senses in class, and also that was one of our vocabulary words for our story. So it says here, senses. If you don't remember, this is what the senses are. We have 5 senses. We have the senses, we have seeing. You could see things. This is how you feel the world around you. You could see things. There's hearing. You could hear things. Smelling. You could smell things. Touching. You could touch things, see how they feel. And tasting, you can taste things. If there are things that you're supposed to taste. Okay, so there's 5 senses. Now, which sense did she use? Did she use seeing, hearing, smelling, touching, or tasting? Now, here's a hint. It's in the title. I smell springtime. And look, there's her nose. What did she use? She used smelling. She smelled. She used a sense of smell to feel springtime. And they told us all the different things that she smelled. She said that right in the beginning, she says, I don't have to look around. I don't have to see that it's springtime. I could smell it. So she has her eyes closed, so she doesn't even have to look at all this stuff. She could smell all the different smells of spring. And it said the things that she could smell are the fresh, clean air from the sky. She can smell the blossoms on the tree. That means like the little flowers that are growing on the trees. She can smell the mud because it usually springs a lot in spring. She can also smell the buds, the flower buds. She can smell the flowers that are growing that smell so delicious. So there are and she even could smell the breeze. So there were so many things that she smelled. She used her nose as her sense to feel spring. So it says, draw a picture to show what sense she used. What sense did she use? She used her nose. So it looks a little silly when we just draw the nose. So why don't we draw her whole face and then we'll point at her nose. So let's draw her, and we will start with a big circle for her head. Okay. And she had hair, so we'll give her some short hair. She had some short hair. Okay. Now in our story, remember, she had her eyes closed. She didn't have them open because she didn't want to use her eyes to feel spring. She wanted to use just her nose. So let's draw her with her eyes closed. So to draw her eyes closed, we're gonna draw almost kind of like a U, like this. A little curve down like this. 1, 2, to show that her eyes are closed. Now she needs eyebrows still, so let's give her some eyebrows up here. Okay, so she has her eyes closed, there's her eyebrows. Let's give her a nose, so slide down and back for her nose. And she's happy. We'll give her a smiley face. Now we want to point out that she used her nose. So let's point at her nose. We'll make a line. So it's like pointing at the nose, and we'll make a little arrow that goes pointing at her, like a triangle that's pointing at her nose, to show that she used her nose. That was the sense of smell. She used the sense of smell to feel springtime. Now, there's a sentence we have to complete on the bottom. It says, so let's go ahead and make some reading dots for us to read the sentence a little bit easier. Spring, we'll put a reading dot under spring, is here because spring is here because what? Because we can smell it. We can smell it. Now she could smell it. Can you also smell it, do you think, when it's springtime? Yeah, and you know what? I want to use the word we because that's one of our sight words. So let's go ahead and do that. So it says, spring is here because we can smell it. We're going to make 4 words. And we're going to have to put finger space in between the words. So let's make sure. So if you have a little stick or something to help you in between the words, make sure you use that. Or you could use finger space like I am. Okay, spring is here because we. So we is W-E. Now we're not making a capital letter because our sentence already has a capital letter. And make sure you start all the way in the end over here on the left-hand side, all the way over so you have enough space for all your words. We, lowercase w and an E. Put those close together next to each other because they're one word and put a reading dot. Spring is here because we can. Can is another one of our sight words. C-A-N spells can. So make sure you have a finger space after the word we. You don't want to put it right next to it. You need some space because those are 2 different words. Because we can. So you should have either your little stick there, your popsicle stick, or a crayon or something to make space in between we and can. Can. C-A-N. I can spell can. C-A-N. You remember that? C-A-N. So those will be close together to show that they're one word and put 1 reading dot. We can smell. Guess what? There's a clue in our worksheet that says the word smell. I smell springtime. Look, there's the word smell. They wrote it out for us. Except for when we copy it, we're not going to put a capital S. They put a capital S because that was the title, the name of our poem. But we're writing in a sentence, so we don't need to put a capital S. So put your finger space or your little spacer. So move your little stick over here. So now it's behind the N. We can, so have some space there. You don't want to squish it next to the N. Smell. So remember, it shows you how to write smell. Lowercase s, m, that makes smell, E, L, smell. And look, smell is a big kid word. It has 2 L's. Put 1 reading dot. Spring is here because we can smell it. So finger space, so move your spacer over or use your finger to put a space. It, that's a word we can sound out. It has 2 letters. It. What's the first letter that you hear? It. I, so lowercase I. It. T, very good, lowercase t. And a reading dot. It, we can smell it. That's it, we're done with that sentence. So remember, we're going to put an ending. Definitely, we're going to have to put a period here. We don't need an exclamation point and we don't need a question mark. We're gonna put a dot right here. Dot completes the thought. I'm gonna put a period, it's a dot right there on the floor line right there next to the last thing that you wrote. Now let's reread our long sentence that we have. Start with your pointer finger over here where it says spring. Underneath the word spring on your reading dot. Spring is here because we can smell it. Just like she did. Well, friends, you did an amazing job. Thank you for following along. We can't wait to see your papers and we can't wait to see your amazing writing, your beautiful drawings, and your spacing and your perfect letters. Oh, we can't wait to see your amazing work. I'll see you again later. Bye.